Alright, so it took long enough, I had to move on to the next day. This next bin should be more interesting than the last one, because it's got stuff like this. This is the Heishu largest mass-produced 3x3. I've already got one of these, so I'm going to sell this one to someone here locally that wants it, because shipping that would be hard. Here's a cross cube. Here is a helicopter dodecahedron. Turns around the edges. Quite a cool puzzle. Here's a Shengshou 8x8. Yeah. Here's a latch cube. So I actually just got one of these right before I got this lot of cubes. Like, it came in the mail like just days before, like 3 days before I got this bunch of cubes. So I went from not having one for a long time and wanting one to having two. Yeah. There's one of these. This is the Diansheng large 3x3. I believe this used to be the largest mass-produced 3x3 until that came out, but it wasn't that the largest for very long. Here's a MF8 4x4 Megaminx, or Master Kilominx. Yeah, it doesn't turn nearly as well as the Shengshou one, but costs like twice as much. Here's an interesting puzzle. It's a Cube for You Gigaminx. I solved this because it came scrambled, and it's really not as bad as most people say. It's solvable, so it's not like everyone makes it out to be, but it's still kind of funny to joke about it and whatnot. Here's one that's missing a cap. They were like glued on, and so it's a geared octahedron. It's got 8 sides. So here's a Calvin's puzzle and Tony Fisher star cube. It's got the Fisher cube centers and top edges, and the rest is like a 3x3. Here is a Void Master Pen Ultimate. The stickers are in there somewhere. All these caps can come off to make it void. Yeah. Bunch of them just move. Here's a 9cm Megaminx. I've got one of these in black. The stickerless one looks cool. You cannot use it in competition, unfortunately, because the centers have logos on each of them. Not that you'd want to use it, it doesn't actually turn that well. Here's one I was very excited to get because I wanted to try solving it. It's a Kirbycopter 3, and when you jumble it, it doesn't jumble any different than a normal Kirbycopter, but it's got all these extra pieces in the middle, and I obviously couldn't figure it out yet. Haven't tried in a while, so I'll just set it like that. Yeah. Here's a Cube for You Terraminx. Yeah, doesn't turn that well, but again, it's probably solvable. I've solved my other one that I've had for a long time. Here's a Dino Morphinx, Triangle Dino Cube. I think it's Dino Morphinx though. It's a Dino Cube, originally made by Tripump, but mass-produced by Calvin's Puzzle, in the shape of a triangle. Maybe tetrahedron, maybe rouleau, because this is like flat. I don't know what the shape is called. Here's a Rex dodecahedron. I'm going to call it that so I don't mispronounce it, because it's got a long name. Shengshou 5x5. This is the original helicopter cube. I solved it to look like a 2x2. There's a Darth Maul head. It should have been in the Rubik's bin, but it made it over here. So it's a 2x2. Here is a Gear Cube Ultimate. Yeah, maybe the Ultimate, maybe... Yeah, I think it's the Ultimate, and then there's the even less gears, which would have 4 less gears. Actually, deceptively hard puzzle. The Gear Cube is really easy, but I have one of those in white that I've had for a long time, and it's kind of hard to solve. Here's a knockoff volcano puzzle. It's like a cross cube Pyraminx. The original version of that is actually the first cube I ever bought off Mefferts.com. Here's a curvy Starminx. It's just like the Starminx 2, but curvy. And then there's a Dreidel 3x3. This is a hard puzzle to solve because you can like get all sorts of things that happen when you can turn the corners on a 3x3. So, yeah. And there's the Hexaminx. It's a Megaminx, the shape of a cube. I actually got one of these in the same package with the Latch Cube. Right before knowing I was going to get this. Okay. Here is a geared 12-sided 3x3 mod. Here's another geared 12-sided 3x3 mod, but this one's different. Here is a Megaminx ball. I almost got one of these with that package, but I didn't, and I was happy because then I got this Calvin's Puzzle Megaminx ball. I think technically it's called a Hexaminx ball since these are, it's got 6 colors, but I'm going to call it a Megaminx ball because it turns like a Megaminx. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely off. Here's the 3-layer version of that puzzle I was looking for earlier. It turns like that and like that. Again, very easy, but I don't remember who made these, but I know they're kind of rare now and people look for them, so it's kind of interesting. Here's a Whitten Mini 4x4. You can turn one layer and it turns the bottom layer with it. So that, and it can pop. Here's a Masters Cube. I had one of these a long time ago, but I traded it. And I've always meant to get another one because it's like a Rex Cube, which is this, but with corners. So, yeah, kind of neat puzzles. There's a Shangsha 6x6 and 7x7. Here is a blue Dino Cube from Calvin's Puzzle. It's pillowed, and it says Evgeny on it. So maybe Evgeny made the pillowed Dino Cube. Here is another Dino Cube. It's the Dino Cylinder Barrel thing from Smaz. And MF8. MF8 and Smaz made these. I don't know who Smaz is. I just know he makes really cool puzzles. So, yeah. Here is a Petaminx. I have one of these. And this one, I believe, is missing a few stickers over here on the purple side. So it's missing one purple sticker, and that might be it. But I'm hoping to find a replacement purple sticker, because a sticker set for this is like $10. And I haven't even solved my other one yet, because I didn't have a full sticker set. So there's a Petaminx. I guess I'll move that where you can see it. Here's a Whitten Wormhole Cube 3x3. So you can turn this and like certain things happen to the inside. You can see like that green on the inside doesn't match with that white on the outside. So it's kind of a difficult puzzle to solve. You got to figure out where it's got like internal bandaging and such. It's like a 3x3 and then these edges and centers are just kind of sitting in there. So kind of an interesting puzzle. Here is another hard one from Whitten. It's the Camouflage Cube. This one took me a while to solve. Once you kind of figure out some tricks, it becomes quite a bit easier, but still difficult. Here's a Gear Master Morphinx. Here's another one. Here's a QJ Megaminx with, I think it's QJ. Maybe not. It's kind of tight to be a QJ. Maybe they just tightened it. I don't know. And it's got CubeSmith stickers on there. And in the box is just the missing piece for the gear puzzle and the stickers for the Pentultimate. Alright, so I'm filming this segment separately because I'm going to be shipping out a few of the puzzles, and they're some kind of interesting ones, so I wanted to talk about them a little bit. This is a transparent blue Dino Dodecahedron, or Starminx 1. Next up, we've got a couple of 2x2s. These are Simpsons heads. You've probably seen these, or this one at least, before. It's a very common puzzle, the Homer Simpson, but this Bart Simpson head is pretty rare, apparently. So I like having rare puzzles in my collection, but I know other people would appreciate having this more, as I have never watched an episode of The Simpsons, and this is going along with them. It's a Simpsons Magic. Alright, in the next bin here, starting off with a Master Ball. That's what it says there. This can turn like this, and then also like this, and like this. And yes, there's many different versions of that, different colors and such. Here's a Rubik's Brain Racker. You pull this piece out, and then all the other tiles can slide around, and there's numbers and colors that you match up. Here is a Skewb Ball. That's a baseball. Doesn't turn that well. It doesn't have a clicking mechanism, and it's called a Magic Baseball. So, yeah. Here's a face-turning octahedron from Land. Here's a QJ 3x3x2. I've got a Moyu time wheel, the original one. Yeah. Here's a Rubik's 360. I've got a K8 ball. It's a 2x2. Kind of clicks into place. We've got some of the little egg puzzles. There's a couple more. There's another one somewhere. Yeah, I'll just show it when I get to it. But these, for those that don't know, you like put these in, and yeah, it's like a maze thing. You've got to go back and forth and through to get it out the bottom. And these are just the one layer versions. Here's a Rubik's Magic. It's a magic sphere. The pieces can be moved through the middle and then also twist on each side. Kind of squeaky. Yeah. Here's a sort of like a Tetris cube kind of a thing. It's got all these pieces that look like just one by ones glued together or something, and then you gotta try and put them all together in this cube shape so all the colors match. Here's a soccer ball Shengshou 2x2. Next, there's 6 of these Mad Heads 2x2s. They're really kind of weird. They turn well enough, but they're just weird. So here is another 2x2. That's another K ball. So it snaps into place, but it's just a different coloration. Here's a pulley Megaminx corners thing. So you got to pull up these little metal things, and then you can turn it, and it's just like solving the corners of a Megaminx, but with centerpieces. Those have been out actually a really long time. So here's a Calvin's Puzzle bag. There's a E3 Cube Store hat. And a Rubik's You Can Do the Cube bag. So this, yeah, there it is. So those. There's a Rush Hour thing. I'll open it up so you can see it. There's different configurations. You put these cars in, and you can like slide them around It's just a sliding puzzle. You got to try and get one cart out of a slot. Here is a Skewb ball. It's a brain string. It's got strings on the inside, and you have to solve it so they're untangled. And it's kind of an interesting puzzle, but it functions like a Skewb, but you can like see inside. So yeah. Here's another Skewb ball, but it's got, I think, I don't know. It's got different animals and stuff. Again, no clicking mechanism. It's probably by the same company as the baseball, but doesn't say anything on it. This is a hard bin because everything wants to roll away. Here's a 3x3 ball with, I say, different layers. Turns alright. Here's another Skewb ball from Mosey. So no clicking mechanism. It's pretty stiff to turn. Here's another one that's been on a long time. You push these balls into their corresponding holes, and there's like a foam thing on the inside. So that's interesting enough. Here's a Ghost Hand Magic. So these are pretty good magics. I wanted one. Remember, I was gonna order one from Cube Depot for like the longest time, but never got around to it. And then, well, what happened with magic. So here's a CX3. Another one of the only couple of speed cubes in here. I really liked the CX3. It used to be my main for a while. Yeah. Here's a Crazy Windmill cube. Pretty sure that's the name of it. There's another Moyu 3x3, and then this is the Crazy Fisher cube. So they're pretty similar, but a little bit different to solve. Here is a Rubik's Hot Wheels van. So that's cool. I've never seen that before. Kind of interesting. Here, this is another one I actually traded this person, or sold him or something, I don't remember. But this I really like because there were so many times throughout the years I'm like, I wish I had never gotten rid of that. It's a mini Master Magic by Lingao, and this used to be my main Master Magic until I got a normal sized one. I think I just bought this on eBay and didn't realize it was going to be mini. This is another one I was really happy to get back after trading to this person. It's a Ghost Hand 2. And I really like this cube. It used to be my main. Now it locks up quite a bit, but I had two of these. I don't remember why I ended up with two. I just ordered them off eBay for whatever reason, for relatively cheap, but it was primary plastic, my first ever primary plastic puzzle, and I really liked it. So I don't know why I ever got rid of both of them, but just kind of ended up that way. Here's a Micro Magic. So there's like the Mini Magic, which has the same size tiles as this, and there's this Micro Magic. It is solvable, but it's pretty fragile. Here we have an Ishin 4x4 with an orange side. So that's possibly more rare, I don't know. Most of the Ishins had the pink side instead of orange. So there's that. There it is. So we've got a couple of penguins in red and pink. Going on the same trend there, this is the YJ Cat Cube, and yeah, it's a YJ cat. Okay. Here's another 2x2 ball. This is a, I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but these middle parts can spin, and then it turns like a 2x2, so it's a little bit interesting. There's also a harder version to solve, which is this one, because the orientation of the centers matters, whereas if like these two pieces are switched over here, it doesn't matter. But this is the same brand, just different. configuration. Here's the last of the eggs. There's 6 of those little eggs. Here's a 2x2. It's the Fangshi. No, this isn't a Fangshi. It's something with white caps on a black cube. I thought it was a Fangshi just because they like had all the illusion stuff, but I don't think it is. The edges don't look like the Fangshi on the inside, but I'm not really sure, and I'm also not too worried about it. Here's a couple more Ishin 4x4s in picture cubes. They've got different pictures of different things. So yeah, Ishin 4x4s are always cool. Here we've got a Shengshou 4x4. This is, I think, a version 4. I checked at one point, but it's fluorine modded and it's a Shengshou 4x4. Here we've got a couple of cards. It says 1970s Rubik's Cube. It's got some information, and this looks like it came out of something else, and is also like coming out of here. And there's one of the stamps in there from Hungary. Yep. Here's a 2x2x3. Not a cube for you, just his cube free stickers on it. Yeah, here's a void 2x2. The inside's all void, and then it's not on the outside. I guess it kind of is. I don't know what I'm talking about. Here's a 2x2 baseball. 2 lucky. Must be for a certain team or something. Kind of interesting. Here's another 2x2 ball that's got like colors on it. Doesn't look like it's solved. There. We have a Rubik's Sudoku, so you gotta get the numbers and the colors. But it doesn't look like it's any more difficult than like a regular Sudoku, because the colors only correspond to one number. If they were to like different numbers, it would be more difficult, but then it might be impossible to solve. Here's a Clarkson Magic from that college. Here's a cross teaser. Push these things, and then on the other side they go the opposite direction. So it's like vertical and horizontal, and you gotta try and get them all matching. Here's a Rubik's black case. It says Rubik's on it down here, and it's got tiles in it. So I don't know what this is, but I would assume these go in here, and you gotta do something with them. But I really don't know. Here's a sticker set for a 4x4 that's fluorine cut. Here is a stickerless Aosu. So this is stickerless bright. Yeah. Here's a AYI 4x4x5. Here's a V-Cube 7 Illusion in yellow and black. A Cube for You 3x3x4. This is one I've been meaning to get forever. It was such a popular cube, and I never got one, even though they were relatively inexpensive and easy to find lots of places. It was always one I just put off until now. Here's a Diane Megaminx in stickerless. It's a crazy 3x3x2, and it can do the goofy move. But yeah, these, they're like center stay in place, and on this side the center goes with it. So it's kind of an interesting solve. I used to have one, and I have another one. So here's a Rubik's 2x2x4, an actual 2x2x4 with Japanese color scheme. Yeah, here's a Ishin 5x5 that's impossible to solve, but they're not that easy to put together. I suppose this wouldn't be too hard, but I Never fix it. And this is the pink I was talking about as opposed to the orange on the other one. Okay, here is a, what is this, Oklahoma something, Sooners? I don't know. I know someone that went to this college, so I'm just going to give it to them. That's why it's like separate from the rest of the picture cubes, because I really don't need it. Here's a cube for you, 3x3x5, another one that I've wanted for a long time but put off getting. And then to complete the ones that I really wanted but put off getting is the 3x3x7. And after a while I started putting off getting them because I had a 3x3x9 like this one, so now I have two of them. And so it was just like an easier, quicker to solve version of the 3x3x9. All of those kind of are, so I never got around to getting the easier versions. Here's a Curvy Copter. And there is a Diane 3-layer pentahedron, because it's got 5 sides. And these layers can turn. I imagine it's very easy to solve, but I haven't tried. So yeah, it's kind of a hard puzzle to find now in the 3-layer version. So this is a very puzzle snowflake. These snowflakes turn, and then the whole thing can turn. But everything has to be like lined up, yeah, like that. So pretty easy puzzle to solve. Here's a Rubik's Ice 2x2 with clear stand. I've already got a couple of these from a long time ago, but none with the stand, so that's kind of cool. Here's a Saturn. Yeah, crazy 3x3. So all the different planets have different configurations of faces that turn with the edges, and then centers that turn without the edges, so they don't turn. And yeah, those are fun. There's 8 of the 8 of them, because they made them after Pluto got eliminated or whatever. Here's a couple of 2x2s with Japanese color scheme and Junior Cube color scheme, both Rubik's brand. Here is a transparent Diane octahedron. This is another one I had put off ordering for so many years, even though I really like Diane puzzles. And then I got it like maybe a couple months before this, after wanting it for like I don't know, a number of years. But yeah, here's a Moyu Evil Eye. These little things turn. It's like a 3x3 cross cube, but only the centers from a 3x3 cross cube. So it's kind of interesting. I did solve it once. Yeah. Here's a Whit Eden 3x3x6. I like that one. It turns pretty well. Here's a Diane Gem 6. So these little faces can turn, but not very well. And then these larger faces can turn. So it's my understanding that this solves almost exactly like the Wheel of Wisdom. And so I don't think it will be much harder, because there's like I guess I don't know what I'm talking about really. And then there's a Diane Gem 8. These little things turn, and then these faces turn. Actually a deceptively hard puzzle, because you're turning so much of it at once, and then like these little triangles can get out of place, and it took me a while to figure that one out. Here we've got Diane, like, it's called a Dino Cube, but it's really like an F Cube, I think is the original name. So it's got this type of turn and then this type of turn. They have a master version of it out now. And here's another one from a Planet series. This is a Mars Bermuda Cube. And so this, you have to like line them up with the different centers, and they can be kind of difficult to figure out where they can turn. Like this one should be able to turn here. Yep. So they've got like triangle centers and then like fissure edges, but it's really like a bandage 3x3, but a pretty cool one. Here's the limited edition transparent purple MoYu 4x4 fissure cube. This is one I wanted to get, but it was kind of expensive, and I knew it would be an easy solve. So I never got it, and then they were kind of sold out. But I got one now that's missing stickers. Here's Hungarian rings, and for whatever reason, I don't know how to swap that piece with this piece. That would make it solved. I hadn't spent too much time trying to figure it out, but I did once, and now the snowflake is on the floor. Okay, here's a very well crafted 1x2x3. It's got like regular size pieces and turns fairly well actually, and it's like regular size. And then here's a 1x1x4, and then there's a 9x9. This is one I actually really wanted because it was kind of when I started cubing that the knockoff 9x9 came out. But some people would pay up to like $200 for one of these. It used to be the largest mass-produced puzzle. And I did a solve on this because it came scrambled, and it wasn't that bad. As long as you're not trying to speed solve it, it doesn't pop, or it didn't for me. But, and they haven't sold ones like this in a very long time. And so I was never able to get one after I could afford it, because obviously in 2009 I wasn't about to pay like $120, $200 for a 9x9. And then there's a 1x1x2, a couple of sticker sets, this lanyard for the Rubik's 30th anniversary, and then there's this Mefferts USB drive. Aha, that works like that. So it's 4 gigabytes, and I don't know, I guess I'll have to see if there's anything on this. It's the 30th anniversary for the Pyraminx, I think. Here's a Diane Jewel. It turns just like the octahedron, but it doesn't have the tips. Here's a poster of some sort. It's a You Can Do the Cube poster. Yeah. Here's a piece of paper that says, "Cubes warning, take as direct." Okay, so it's got that, and then a farmer holding a cube in front of a chicken. That's odd. Here's a France World Cup '98. It's a Skewb ball. So I would imagine this is made by Mefferts, but I don't know. It also looks a lot like a Jayhawk. So it's a Skewb keychain ball, and my leg fell asleep. Alright, here's the last one in the bin, and also the most nostalgic. It's the Yushin 11x11. Now, I already have 2 of these that I got really cheap off eBay. I don't know, the stickers are there, they're just on top of the stickers next to them. But this exact 11x11 was one of like the first 11x11s on YouTube. And I remember watching the video of this specific 11x11 and being like, wow, I really want one of those. And I would have never expected that I would actually own that exact 11x11 one day. I wanted one so bad, but they're like $150. And of course I wasn't going to be able to spend $150 on an 11x11. Because I wanted to get more different puzzles than just one that solves the same as like my 7x7 did. So this is a really cool cube, and I'll try and fix those stickers eventually. It's kind of interesting that it has all of its stickers. I know the person who I got it from, they solved it maybe a couple of times, but yeah. So that's it for this spin. On to the next. Okay, so here is the Diane Wheel of Wisdom. Normally all of these faces would be solid colors, but I put it in this like sort of checkerboard star pattern. because I like it better. Here's a box, and it's got all sorts of little trinkets inside that are cubing related, but not really cubes. So, yeah. Here's a mini stack mat. You could put like a Gen 2 there, and then solve on a mini mat. Those used to be very nice for competitions, and now they have like a mini mat for the Gen 4. And then this is a big mat, so I'm gonna leave it just like that. Here's some extended 3x3s. So just 3x3s. Some have like small corners, some just have extended pieces. It's not actually made by Lubix. There's another one, and I'll probably come across more eventually. Here's a lights out cube. So it's got like batteries inside, and then you push these things and it like changes the colors of the pieces, and you gotta try and get like all of them one color or something. Here's a snake. It's a knockoff snake. Here's a KO Labyrinth. It's a 3x3 with balls on the inside that you have to like try and get through the maze, but like I don't know that it's like working properly, because the balls, I've tried like a whole bunch of different pieces and I can never get through that starting point. So I don't know what's up there. Here's a Tetris cube. This is what I was talking about earlier. You've got like pieces on the inside, and you take them out and you try and fit them into a cube. Here's a thing. I don't know the name of this, but the pieces can like slide up and to a different spot. There's a couple of places where they can slide up, so I would assume you're supposed to get all one color in a certain thing. That's what it looks like, but there's only like 3 of each color, so, and there's 4 slots, so I don't know. Maybe you're supposed to get all of that wouldn't make sense either. I really don't know what that is. Here's a Rubik's slide. Turns on, you can play like little games. This was solved, and now it's solved again. It moves really easily. It's like a wooden sliding puzzle. You put the balls up into different things, and you can move them around. Here's something from what is it? Recent Toys. You gotta like slide them and then try and get a big picture of Albert Einstein to show in the mirrors. Very, very odd. So this is a Cube 4. You try to get all the cubes so different colors show on each thing. It was pretty easy and kind of weird. It's like an actual 1x1 puzzle, I just realized. So here's another extended 3x3. Yeah. Here's a... Ooh, I don't remember the name of this. Dual rings, something like that. All these different things turn very stiffly, and then they can slide into different orbits, and I don't think there's any like twisting moves, but it's kind of interesting. Here's a Calvin's Puzzle keychain. Now, you won't be able to see it, but it's got like in the middle of it one of those like a I don't know what it's called, but it says Calvin's Puzzle. Here's an inversion cube. You're supposed to either get all red or all blue facing on the outside. Here is a Rubik's Revolution with little spiky things. Here's a Rubik's Revolution with stickers. And then, to top it off, here's the limited edition Rubik's Revolution. I don't know if it's actually a limited edition. It was a special edition of some kind. I don't know what kind of special edition, but it's there. Here's a bunch of Rubik's coasters, I want to say. I've heard of Rubik's coasters in the past, and that's the only thing I could think of those being. Here's a 2x2 dice flagging puzzle. I imagine you're supposed to get all like the 2s on this side. And then here's a 3x3 version of that with colors. So, pretty interesting. Here's a couple of knot puzzles. And by knot, I mean like a knot that you tie, and not like, well, they're not puzzles. Here's the Gordian's knot, and it appears to have slightly scrambled itself. And then this is a zigzag knot. So you're supposed to take these apart and put them back into those things, which I will probably never do. Here is a dodecahedron tangram puzzle. You're supposed to like link the ring, and then these faces just turn. So it's like a 1x1 Megaminx, like a cross 1x1 Megaminx. Very odd. So here's a Mosey knockoff version of the 4x4 Vadaz cube. You slide these around, and you can scramble it by doing such. But and here is a black hole puzzle. It slides, and I imagine you'd try and get like all the green on this face, but I don't know for sure. Here is a mini snake. Here's a flip side. You gotta slide the things, and then you can flip it whenever they're anywhere, and you gotta, I imagine, get sequential numbers in their places. Here's one I already had a long time ago. I got it at a garage sale for $1. This one's different, so now I have two of these that I will never use. It's a 36 cube. It's like Sudoku. You got to get one of each color in here and then in here, and makes a lot of noise and is big. Here is, I believe, a Rubik's timer. It's in this Rubik's 30th anniversary bag, but it's got instructions, and then I actually don't know what this is. Yeah, electronic timer, official electronic timer. So yeah, I'll have to plug this in and see if I can get it to work on a computer, the disc and instructions and everything. From what I understand, this is rare. I hadn't really known anything about it until now. I still don't really know much about it, but the bag is kind of cool. Here's a brain twist, and then this is a, let's see if I remember the name of this. I don't. I just saw an unboxing recently of one of these, and I don't remember what it's called, but all of these things can like turn with the other ones in their row. So and then you gotta try and like get all the colors on one side. Here's a car puzzle that slides, and you gotta try and get each of the cars matching with their color. And it turns like a 1x1x2. Here is a hockey puck puzzle that can like slide around in the middle layer and then flip kind of like a square one in that layer. And it's not solved because the guy is missing a foot. And I imagine there's not very many amputee hockey players. So here is a metal take apart and put back together puzzle. I don't know the name of it, but it's quite heavy. Here's another thing like that, but this time you gotta take apart these 4 rings, and I don't know how to do that. Here's a official Rubik's snake. Here's a ball maze that is old. Popular puzzles. Cool. Not so popular anymore. Here's some like sliding puzzles that I'm not going to use. This one's kind of interesting. It's a giant snake. So I never knew they made them this big, and it appears that it's an actual Rubik's one. It says Hungarian snake on it, and it's got like the Rubik's signature there. So I would possibly expect this to be legitimate. And I don't know how this goes together. Oh, maybe Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter, but there's that. Here's a pink snake with stickers on it, kind of weird. Here is a even littler snake on a keychain. And then here is a circle snake. I believe this to be a candle holder. Here's a 15 puzzle, one of those sliding puzzles. I don't know what this is, but you turn this and then all the little circles turn. And the back side turns the circles differently or something. I hope I didn't just scramble it, but I think I did. Well, before I didn't know how it scrambled, and I guess now I do. So here's all these like Whip-It sliding puzzle things, and a cube stand. These just turn and slide, not much different than a 15 puzzle or a missing link. Here is a charger. And then the last one up here is this. It's the Rack 'em Up. I imagine there's some type of color thing you're supposed to get. You can do all these different sliding moves and scramble it further. Or less, I don't know. Yeah, so I got through this spin in under 12 minutes. Good for me. Alright, so this last spin is all 3x3s. So there's probably a couple hundred in here. That's a Rubik's 2.0. It's got the tiles and doesn't appear to be the speed cube. Here's a couple of Rubik's picture cubes. Going to be a recurring theme here. An Angels baseball team and a Cubs baseball team. These are actually interesting. These are not 3x3s. Here's a piece of paper for a sliding puzzle. Don't need that. Here's a missing link instructions booklet. That's cool. Here's these are all like old books until I get to the end. New challenge, Rubik's Cube 92 puzzles and solutions. That's kind of cool. This book should not be this thick. The Simple Solution Rubik's Magic. I guess it's got other things inside, but definitely should not be that thick. 101 uses for a dead cube. That's odd. But maybe the one piece of paper with like the guy with the chicken, I feel like that came out of this book. Now we know. Or maybe we don't yet, I don't know. A simple solution to cubic puzzles. I don't know, that doesn't look so cubic to me. And that's definitely not a cube. And that's a pyramid. So, yeah. Speed solving the Rubik's Cube. This appears to be somewhat newer. I also don't really care how new it is. The Rubik's, you can do the cube pamphlet and then how to solve the cube in 37 seconds. Nicholas Hammond obviously had a 37-second solve at some point. So, yeah, those are interesting. Now back to the 3x3s. Here's a Rubik's brand promotional cube, or whatever that says. This cube, I don't know. It's a primary old cube. Maybe it's glow in the dark. We may never know. A Rubik's Disney cube. This is a Gordon Fisherman cube. I actually probably still have one of these. I got it from someone off Craigslist for like $7 or $10 or something like that. But I was so excited to find a cube on Craigslist, I paid for it. So, yeah, that some more Rubik's brand picture cubes. These are hockey. This appears to be Eastern Conference New York Islanders for hockey, and then this would be the New York Rangers. So apparently New York has two hockey teams. We've got San Francisco 49ers and the New York Jets for football. And there's a picture of someone's elbow. That's interesting. You'd think they'd want like a full person on there, but yeah. Apparently at one point, the San Francisco 49ers had a very popular elbow playing on their team. This one is another Rubik's brand. It has different currencies on each side. And there's Benjamin Franklin. Okay, more Rubik's brand cubes. Here's a Rubik's brand cube. And here is a NHL Sabres. I've heard the name before. I don't know where they play though. Also doesn't really matter. Here's some more football ones. We've got Chicago Bears, New Orleans Saints, and then the Dallas Cowboys. Here's another Rubik's brand cube with these stickers. Here is another Rubik's brand cube with reflective stickers. More football teams. We got the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos. Interestingly enough, last week when these two teams played games, it wasn't snowing in Denver, where you might expect snow, and then the entire Buffalo game was played in snow. I just thought the Buffalo game was very interesting to watch the highlights of because it just was. Here's a V-Cube 3B and a V-Cube 3 sandwich cube. So there's that. And the V-Cube 3 would just mess everything up if I stacked it, so I'm not going to stack it. This is an odd, like, speed cube type thing. I was never able to get a piece out. And it's got tiles and they're sunken in. So it's kind of like a speed cube. Here's a cube with 3 different colors. Here is a transparent cube. I do not know which type of transparent cube this is because 3x3 mechanisms used to all look the same. If I had to guess, I'd probably say the Type C version one, but I'm probably wrong. I have one I could compare it to. Here's another 3x3 that I'm not going to know what it is because it's white and has the same mechanism as everything else. Here's another 3x3 kind of like that, but it's cool because it's transparent green. I could probably figure out what this is, but it's got sparkly stickers, so I imagine those weren't the ones that came on it. Here's the Fish 3x3. Kind of interesting. Here's a Cyclone Boys 3x3. Not going to look at the mechanism because I wouldn't recognize it and I don't care. So wow, that was quite the bump. I apologize. This has planets on it, and a sun. So I wonder what 2 planets. I guess it would be 3 planets because it's only got 5 on here. Yeah, looks like Mars isn't on here. Maybe that's Mars. I guess I don't know my planets that well. This is Uranus and Saturn, and then it looks like that should be Jupiter and Earth. So I guess I don't know my planets that well. But I guess it also doesn't really matter because you came here to watch cubes, not hear how little I know about planets. This is a tiled 3x3, like what the 3x4x7 was made out of. This has Pac-Man people on it. And then that logo. That seems like an old one. Here's a Rubik's card game. Don't know what that's all about, and probably won't ever know what that's all about. Some more Rubik's brands. This one says those words on it. And this one has Scientific American magazines on it. The archive collections. Okay, I'll believe you. Here's a brown Rubik's M&M cube. At least I think it's Rubik's. I thought it was. I don't see a logo though. But it's brown and it's got M&M's on it. I used to have a M&M cube. I probably still do. Picture cubes. I don't know where I was going with that. This is the world and it looks solved, but it might not be. Looks solved though. Funny thing enough, I saw a V-Cube thing where they're like, there's V-Cubes on all 5 continents. Like, I get if you say 6 because, you know, nobody's cubing on Antarctica probably, But 5, which other continent doesn't have V-cubes? And why would you say all 5? So that was there. Here's the NBA Rubik's brand cube for the Detroit Pistons. Maybe someone in Detroit would like to have that cube. Here is an unsolvable Rubik's cube because it's got taken apart stickers. This is a concave cube, so it's like the opposite of the V-cube 3. Here is a New York Mets baseball Rubik's brand cube. Some more Rubik's brand cubes. This one's got arrows on it, and this one is a 2-solution cube, so you can solve it by the words or by the stickers. Here is another thing that looks kind of old. It's got those things on it. No idea. Here is a gray Rubik's brand Houston Astros. Yeah, the cursive threw me off because I thought the R was an N. I'm like, Astons? That doesn't make sense. But Astros does. And they won the World Series this year. And I know that because, well, they talked about it and I saw them win. Here's another Rubik's brand cube. Here's a couple more Rubik's brand cubes. This one is for the Chicago Bulls. And then this has numbers on it and is orange. Here, this is a cool one. This is a cube for you gas-assisted 3x3. So it's got these little things in the corners. I guess have gasoline in them. I don't really know how it works, but yeah. There's actually many different types of gas that are not gasoline. So there's your education for this video. That's a very heavy metal 3x3. Here's a old Rubik's cube with like tape or something on it. Here's another Rubik's brand cube. This one is for the Denver Nuggets. Okay, I guess they can be a team. Here is a, I'm gonna guess this is a Warriors cube because it says Warriors on it. And it's a basketball Rubik's brand cube. Here is another Rubik's brand cube that is for the, it like says it here, but Kings? I don't know. There's a Kings basketball team. I would imagine that's it. Okay, some more Rubik's brands. Here's a mid-age Rubik's brand cube from like the 2000s or something like that, or 90s. Alright, my camera stopped recording. I'm not exactly sure how long it did stop, but I had like a Los Angeles Lakers and that 3x3. And then here we have a Detroit Red Wings basketball cube. I'm gonna guess, no, NHL. I knew that. Here's a Transformers cube. Interesting thing about this, it's got gray plastic, and these were like in stores, like in Target. I remember seeing it specifically when I was kind of early on in cubing, and I wanted to get one, but it was $10 and just a 3x3, so I never ended up getting one, and I've got 2. So here's a Rubik's brand sheep cube. Okay. Here's a couple of Rubik's brand cubes. This one's got a flower on it, and this one's got, I can't really read that word, but it's got an H, so I'm assuming it's Harambe. A couple of Rubik's brand cubes. Microsoft cube, different Microsoft things. And then this is for the Mavericks in basketball. Here's a Rubik's brand cube. This is, I believe it's called the Rubik's Passion Cube. And it came in like a pink fuzzy box. But the person I got these from kept that. And that's okay with me. But it's a purple plastic Rubik's brand, so that's interesting. Here's a cube that has a 3x3 mechanism in it because it's a 3x3. So here's a couple of Rubik's brand cubes. This one is for whatever it says on it, and just lost a sticker, so that's good. But then again, not really. What else isn't good is I just bumped the microphone. So this one has numbers on it, and it's like a keyboard cube, but without a keyboard. Okay. Here's a Rubik's brand cube with bright stickers. Here's a the formula cube. It's like a Guanlong. Here's another Rubik's brand cube. I think, could be wrong, probably wrong. Doesn't feel like a Rubik's brand, but it's got the world on it, and it might be solved. There's Africa again. Okay. I'm not gonna remember what game those symbols are from, so I won't even try. This is another Disney cube, but it doesn't feel like a Rubik's brand. It's not. It's got those pieces. Interesting. So Disney and not Rubik's. Okay. Here is a pinkish reddish 3x3. I think you can get those at Cracker Barrel. I don't really know. This is a sticker mod they probably made. It's of a Guanlong, and each corner is like its own color. And this is a cube with hearts in the middle. When I first saw this, I thought it was a cube from Portal, but I don't think that had hearts in the middle. It's been a long time since I played that game, so maybe it does. But here is another Guanlong sticker mod. Here is a white 3x3 that says water cube on every center. And so I would assume it's like a water cube because that says H2O. And that means water. Here's an old 3x3 that doesn't turn well. Here's a Maru 3x3. It's kind of a good one. Just has a standard mechanism though. Here's a watermelon cube. So it kind of looks like a watermelon, but then again, it's also a cube. So maybe it's a Minecraft watermelon. Here's a fire 3x3. That's kind of scary. Here's another Formula Guanlong cube. Okay. This cube is green, and it is just like the pink one. Here's another Formula Guanlong cube that caused me to bump the camera. Cool. Here's some like dollar store type cubes are up next. We have Hello Kitty and Las Vegas. And then we have Chicago and this one for Little Big Planet. But this like isn't a dollar store cube. It's actually kind of smooth. But then again, it doesn't really matter. And it's like printed on. Those aren't stickers. Oh boy. Here's a dot cube and a Christmas cube. I should put that out in my house to be festive. But then again, that would cause work. This one is scrambled. And no, it's not. It's a dot cube. It's called Bumpy. Here is a NBC TV show from, I don't know, 2010? Earlier? Yeah. So I bumped the camera again. It's getting hard for me to reach without doing that, so maybe I'll start another row. A Disney Princess cube and a Keep Calm cube. This cube has a key that goes with it. So here's the cube, and here's the key. I don't know how any of this works, but I know this key goes with this cube. So that's my cubing lesson for the day. Okay, here's the cube with transparent black plastic and those odd things. And then this one is like small and kind of turns well. Got a funky looking mechanism I've never seen, and these are all like textures. The pictures are like textures on there. So it's kind of an interesting one. Okay, here we go. This is weird because all the tiles are like on the inside, and it's again got like textured shapes and a goofy mechanism. Yeah, so it's that, and then here is a Missouri 3x3 and a weird cartoon 3x3. The Missouri one is from the university with the tiger logo, mascot. I don't know what I'm talking about. I bet you guys were missing them, so I decided to bring back another Rubik's brand cube. And this one has a mirrored side because it's the Rubik's Icon. I got one of those at Barnes & Noble for $11 a long time ago. This one is a dollar store cube. Another dollar store cube has smiley faces on it. This is a white cube, and I don't know what this is. Oh, this is I think this is a Type F, because didn't Type F have that divot in the edges? I could be totally off, but I should be able to figure out what this is. It feels like a Type F. I'm pretty sure that's a Type F. That's a cool one. Some more dollar store cubes. You can look at the pictures yourself. This one isn't dollar store cube, but it's like an alphabet cube, so there's that. Another Christmas cube in there, which is appropriate. Here's another one of these shape in 3x3, but this time it's just got stickers. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of keychain with dollar store cubes here. There's all sorts of different stickers. There's Minions, there's superheroes, there's princesses. This one's from Frozen. And these all just function like dollar store cubes, keychain cubes. There's some numbers. There's Spider-Man coming up here. Cars. I think that. Oh, no, there's more. There's a little over 30 of these. I know I had 33 out at one point, and that's all I know. So, this one's from Georgia, so I'm going to see if someone from Georgia wants that eventually, once I see someone from Georgia at a competition. Yeah, keychain cubes. Now for good quality keychain cubes, there are these. So a couple of these are like vintage. This is probably that Wonderful Puzzler one. And this is an old one as well. And then this is a Maru Transparent Red mini cube. A couple of newer Rubik's brands. And then this one, which is slightly bigger and kind of transparent. So those are interesting little ones. There's some bigger dollar store cubes. This says stuff on it that's got Sudoku stuff. This one has jewels on it. Okay. And it's quite large. Okay, more dollar store cubes. There's these pictures. Arkansas. That's a state. You know that Arkansas's state bird is actually the northern mockingbird? You can Google that. Here's a Texas thing and some Disney and not Disney cartoon pictures. Here are more dollar store picture cubes. This one is a hockey one for the All-Star game. I don't know. Don't really know much about hockey. Here's some more dollar store cubes. Numbers and not numbers. I don't know. A duck on one side. It's a maze, heart, and snake dollar store cubes. There's a dollar store cube with truncated corners and more numbers. My squares, my chair is squeaking, and I tried to combine those words and it didn't work, but it was an accident. Here is a Wally cube, so it's got Wally on sides, another like dollar store keychain cube, and then that one, which is big. Okay, all big ones are left. These are kind of big dollar store cubes, big Christmas one, and a that's really goofy. Hello Kitty and Kiss. Got Scarface. This is actually the second one of these that I have. I got another one in a lot off eBay with a, my first 7x7 was a YJ 7x7, and it came with that and something else, I don't remember. And then there's that jeweled 3x3, that's all sticky and gross. Alright, that is every cube. This took very long to record, and I hope you enjoyed, because I enjoyed unboxing them. I already pretty much knew everything that was in there because I had gone through everything. Like I said, I had already sold a whole bunch of these puzzles because I really don't need all of these puzzles. They just wanted to sell their entire collection, and I was more than happy to take all of it for them. I did pay for these cubes, I didn't just get them for free. So yeah, that just about wraps it up. So I think I still have over 1,000 cubes. I know when I initially got this, it put me over 1,000, which is far too many cubes to have, especially ones that I'm never going to touch or solve. Like these things are big and turn bad, and it would cost quite a bit to just ship to someone to give it away. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with all these cubes. Maybe just donate them to like Goodwill or something, but obviously not all of the cubes, but like all of the cubes I'm never going to solve and don't really want to put anywhere. But until then, they're just going to sit in these bins, and obviously the ones I really like I'm gonna put in where I have the rest of my cubes, which is kind of scattered everywhere because I got a lot of cubes now. So I really don't want to keep talking because that's just adding upload time. I think I'm going to put this in 2 parts because otherwise that'll be like 2 hours, I think, roughly, and I don't want to upload a 2-hour video. I uploaded a 3-hour video one time, and that was horrible. It was low quality and took like a day, or more than a day, I don't remember. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now, and I would like to take this time to thank everyone so very much for watching. Goodbye.